Sienna Miller allegedly has PTSD from her relationship with Diddy and is helping the feds to bring him down. She never confirmed her romantic relationship with him, but the blind items have alleged this for a long time.
Sienna Miller, Hollywood's own soft-spoken boho baddie, just allegedly pulled a move so cold it got the internet clutching pearls. Word on the boulevard is sis done spilled Diddy's most embarrassing bedroom secrets to the FBI. Yes ma'am, the feds. And let's just say it's not looking like bad boy for life no more. More like bad performance for life. Allegedly, of course. Now, we not just talking about regular old celebrity pillow talk. No baby, we're talking erectile dysfunction, induced floppage, and a man so deep in delusion he allegedly started a smear campaign to hide his own non-functioning weapon of mass disappointment. And now that the wall's closing in, Sienna might be the unexpected final boss. Let's go back. Diddy, in his usual I want what I can't have phase, was allegedly pressing Sienna for years. It's like the blind item said. One of the people that has been helping the government fill in the blanks in this case against the producer wannabe rapper is someone who has wanted to get back at him for decades. She never wanted to go out with him because she had seen him at parties and saw how he treated women. She was around the scene very much during the time period mentioned in many of the lawsuits. One day she broke down and agreed to go on a date with him. She was already A-list at that point and there was nothing he could do for her career and nothing he can do to harm it either. She wasn't in the music business. They go out a couple of times and one of the times they ended up in bed. She says he couldn't get it up because he had been doing too many. The next day, he starts telling everyone how boring she is in bed and told that to anyone who would listen for the next several hours. Well, big mistake. So Diddy couldn't even back up the lifestyle he talked about. Literally. Allegedly. Sis tried to give him a chance and the man couldn't deliver a single lyric in the bedroom. No beat, no bass, no hook. Just awkward silence, limp regret, and crushed expectations. Child, then he the one who left the situation trash talking her? Sir, be for real. You mean to tell me you showed up to the function with no gas in the tank and now you mad the engine ain't run? Allegedly, his little smear campaign gave Sienna some serious trauma, like PTSD level. But see, now the feds are looking into him for a whole list of violations. Baby girl said bet. She pulled out her receipts, grabbed her dignity, and marched her British behind into the spotlight. Quiet girls don't bark, they bite when it counts. You see the way she's smiling there? That's a woman that don't play. But hey, let's get into what really got the girlies gagged. Because sis ain't just vented to her group chat or leaking blind items to do more no more. Allegedly, Sienna done tipped off the feds with details about Diddy's fueled dysfunction, his smear tactics, and what she's heard from others in the inner circle. Oh yes, according to the whispers, Sienna might be one of the many women quietly talking to investigators now that the RICO-style investigation against Diddy is heating up. And let's be real, this ain't no random petty revenge. This is chess. Sis waited, she watched, she survived the character assassination, and now that karma got Diddy on the run, she said, now you gon' gag. Let's take a moment to sip on the contrast, cause Diddy's legacy is below the Mariana Trench at this point. Cause how did we get from big pimp and mogul of the 2000s to he couldn't get it up and blamed the girl in 2025? Like how you throw wild freak offs, allegedly got rooms full of models and liquor, but you fold when it's one-on-one with a sober, consenting woman. And let's not forget, this the same man who spent decades parading hypersexuality, power, and alpha energy all through the industry, talking like he God's gift to women while allegedly popping blue pills just to stay afloat. Sir, the image and the reality is fighting. And now, the very women you tried to silence are singing like canaries and it's sounding like a deposition. Again, it's all alleged. I ain't got used in my bag for no court case. But listen, Diddy ain't the only one who's been protected by the culture of silence. Hollywood been running on image over truth since the studio era. But what makes this mess extra spicy is that allegedly, Diddy thought he could do what he always do. Smear the woman, control the narrative, and skate off with a bad boy bop. But Sienna ain't no Ricky. At her peak, she was a white British A-lister with access, lawyers, and zero interest in fame by association. She ain't no clout chaser, and unlike some of his exes, she don't need his money or his spotlight to speak her truth. So now that she allegedly got feds listening and people connecting the dots, it's giving payback and Prada. And baby, the shoes fit. Here's where it gets even messier, because Sienna's alleged tea didn't just include that one embarrassing hotel night. She also allegedly told investigators that Diddy's erratic sexual behavior, inability to perform, and obsessive control issues were all linked to his decades-long dependency. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how is that relevant to the FBI? Baby, everything is connected. Because if were a necessary part of how he allegedly maintained control over women during these freak-offs, parties, and private moments, that could point to pattern behavior. And when you throw in coercion, trafficking, or That's not just embarrassing, it's federal. Sienna allegedly said just enough to make folks circle back and start asking questions. Because this ain't no one-night mishap, this is a man whose empire was allegedly built on excess and stage fantasies. So when it finally came time to go toe-to-toe with a woman who couldn't be bought or shamed, he cracked. Now look, Sienna Miller ain't never been the loud and messy type. She not gonna hop on IG Live with tears in her eyes or drop diss tracks with her diary entries. But baby, don't sleep on the quiet girls. Allegedly, sis took her time, collected her thoughts, waited for the wind to shift, and now she letting the truth drip like candle wax in a confession booth. And let's be real, that whole Diddy spreading rumors to ruin her career back in the day, yeah, that may have worked on Hollywood in 2009, but this ain't that. In the age of documentaries, indictments, and exposés, folks are finally believing women, especially when those women got context and motivation. So where do we go from here? Because between the blind items, the open investigations, and the mounting allegations, one thing is clear: the facade is cracking, the Mogul narrative is given misleading, the rumors are hitting like warnings, and the women are finally being heard. But it's also complicated, right? Because let's not act like the public ain't complicit. We let Diddy be the fantasy, the fixer, the untouchable, and now that the curtain's peeled back, we gotta sit with what we enabled. And Sienna, whether you believe all her tea or not, she represents what happens when you cross someone quiet, smart, and underestimated. Allegedly, she ain't just airing secrets, she's correcting the record. And with Diddy's court case terribly close, it might be one scandal that rewrites an entire legacy. But what do y'all think? Do y'all believe Sienna really told the feds everything? Or is this just a clever PR spin while Diddy crumbles? Is it fair to clown Diddy for his bedroom failures? Or should we be focusing more on the more serious alleged power behind the scenes? And most importantly, when men in power start falling, why do so many people still rush to protect the illusion instead of the victims? Drop your thoughts in the comments.